Her hand on my waist. My new boss said relax, and I knew I shouldn't trust her. The fluorescent hum of the open-plan office buzzed like a distant swarm of bees, but it was her touch that shattered the air around me. Jordan's fingers, warm and sure against the curve of my waist through the thin cotton of my blouse, sent a jolt straight to my core. Relax, she whispered, her breath brushing my ear like a secret meant only for midnight confessions. I should have pulled away. God, I knew better. But there I stood, 28 and freshly hired at this glittering New York ad firm, my heart pounding against ribs that felt too fragile for the weight of what was unfolding. The skyline outside the glass walls glittered under the late afternoon sun, all sharp edges and impossible heights, mirroring the knife's edge I was teetering on. Trust her? Hell no. Not when her eyes, those storm-blue depths, held promises that screamed trouble. I'd walked into Vanguard Creative 3 weeks ago, resume clutched like a shield, dreaming of stability after the freelance grind that had left me scraping rent in a Brooklyn walk-up that smelled perpetually of yesterday's takeout. Alex Rivera, that's me, graphic designer with a portfolio full of bold vectors and a resume dotted with team player lies. Divorced from a straight-laced accountant at 25, I'd spent the last 3 years rebuilding walls higher than the Empire State, swearing off the chaos of women who made my pulse race. Until her. The interview had been a blur of polished conference rooms and the faint scent of bergamot from the diffuser on her desk. Jordan Hale, 35, creative director, the woman who could make or break campaigns that lit up Times Square. She leaned back in her leather chair that first day, legs crossed in slim black trousers, her white silk blouse unbuttoned just enough to hint at the lace beneath. Tell me, Alex, she'd said, her voice like velvet over gravel, what's the one design that kept you up all night? I stammered something about a logo for a queer bookstore, the colors bleeding into my dreams. She smiled then, slow and predatory, and I felt it, the pull magnetic and merciless. Now, here we were, alone in the mock-up room after hours, the rest of the team long gone to happy hours in the village. Mock-ups of the new perfume campaign sprawled across the table. Sultry reds and golds, bottles shaped like forbidden fruit. I'd stayed late to tweak the typography, the serifs too sharp, the curves too inviting. Or maybe I'd stayed for her. Jordan had wandered in with 2 glasses of Pinot Noir, the liquid dark as her intentions. You work too hard, she'd said, handing me one, her fingers lingering on mine. The wine was tart on my tongue, warming the chill that had settled in my bones from the AC's relentless bite. We talked, easy at first, about the grind of deadlines, the asshole client who wanted more sparkle, without specifying what. Laughter bubbled up, mine tentative, hers rich and enveloping, like smoke from a jazz club cigarette. Then the space between us shrank. She stepped closer, her perfume, jasmine and something darker, like vetiver, wrapping around me. Her hand found my waist before I could think, thumb tracing a lazy circle that made my breath hitch. Relax, she murmured again, closer now, her lips brushing the shell of my ear. The room spun, the city lights blurring into streaks beyond the glass. I could hear my own heartbeat, a frantic drum solo, and the soft rustle of her blouse as she leaned in. But doubt crashed in like a subway train. Who was she, really? The office whispers painted her as a shark, ruthless in meetings, charming at galas, with a string of exes who vanished like bad ad buys. I'd seen the photo on her desk, her arm around a woman with sun-kissed skin and a megawatt smile, both in evening gowns at some Hamptons fundraiser. Girlfriend? Wife? The frame was angled away, but the intimacy screamed possession. And me? Just the new girl, the one with student loans and a cat named Whiskey who waited alone in my apartment, oblivious to the storm I was inviting. I stepped back, the wine glass cool against my palm, spilling a drop that stained the mock-up like blood. Jordan, my voice cracked, raw as the scrape of heels on marble floors. She didn't move, just watched me with those eyes, unreadable as an encrypted brief. The air thickened, heavy with the scent of ink in her nearness. Outside, a siren wailed, distant and urgent, echoing the warning in my gut. This wasn't just attraction, it was a cliff, and she was the wind pushing me toward the drop. That night I lay in my bed, sheets tangled like my thoughts, the city's hum seeping through the fire escape. Whiskey curled against my thigh, purring softly, but sleep evaded me. Her touch lingered, a ghost on my skin, warm and insistent. I replayed it, the way her fingers splayed, possessive yet tender. The low timbre of her voice cutting through the office din. Desire coiled low in my belly, hot and unbidden, but fear nipped at its heels. What if she was playing me? Using the power imbalance like a prop in one of her campaigns? I'd heard the stories. Interns who climbed too fast then fell hard. Not me. Not again. Morning came too soon, gray light filtering through blinds that needed dusting. Coffee burned my tongue as I scrolled job listings on my phone, half-hearted tabs that closed as fast as they opened. By 9 I was back at Vanguard, the elevator dinging like a starting bell. Jordan was in the bullpen, commanding a huddle around the conference table, her laughter slicing through the murmur of voices. She didn't look at me, not directly, but I felt her awareness, a current under the surface. My desk felt smaller, the dual monitors mocking me with their blank screens. I dove into edits, fingers flying over keys, but every keystroke echoed her whisper. Lunch was a salad from the cart downstairs, eaten at my station while colleagues chattered about weekend plans. Brunch in Soho, a drag show in Bushwick. I nodded along, forcing smiles, but my mind wandered to her office door, ajar like an invitation. By 2 she buzzed me in. "Alex, got a minute?" Her voice over the intercom was casual, but my pulse betrayed me. Inside, the space was all sleek lines. Mid-century desk, abstract prints in frames that cost more than my rent. She gestured to the chair opposite, her sleeves rolled up, forearms corded with quiet strength. The perfume tweaks brilliant. That drop shadow on the bottle? It adds this intimacy. Her gaze held mine, lingering on my lips before flicking back up. Heat flushed my cheeks, the room suddenly too warm, the leather creaking under me like a held breath. We brainstormed, ideas flowing like the Hudson at flood, edgy taglines, visuals that evoke stolen glances in crowded bars. Her enthusiasm was infectious, hands gesturing with the precision of an artist, nails painted a deep crimson that matched the wine from last night. But beneath it, tension simmered unspoken. When our knees brushed under the desk, neither pulled away. The clock ticked, seconds stretching into eternity, the faint scent of her shampoo, citrus and spice, mingling with the leather. As I stood to leave, her hand caught my wrist, light as a feather but electric. "Dinner tonight?" To celebrate the win. It wasn't a question. Her thumb stroked once, deliberate, sending sparks up my arm. I should have said no. The word formed on my tongue, bitter as black coffee. But her eyes, vulnerable for a split second, a crack in the armor, undid me. "Okay," I breathed, the syllable hanging heavy. The rest of the day blurred. Emails pinging, phones buzzing, but I was adrift, anticipation twisting like a knot in my chest. By 6, the office emptied, shadows lengthening across the carpet. Jordan appeared at my desk, coat slung over her arm, a smile that promised stars. "Ready?" she asked, and I nodded, grabbing my bag with hands that trembled just a little. We stepped into the elevator, the doors sliding shut with a soft whoosh, sealing us in mirrored silence. Her reflection stared back at me, poised, unyielding, while mine looked small, eyes wide with the thrill of the unknown. The descent was slow, floors ticking down like heartbeats. Halfway she turned, closing the gap, her hand finding my waist again. "Relax," she said, softer this time, almost a plea. Her lips hovered near mine, breath mingling, the air charged with possibility. The ding shattered it, doors opening to the lobby's bustle. We stepped out, separate now, but the thread between us pulled taut. Outside, the city roared, horns blaring, pedestrians surging like a river. She hailed a cab, the yellow beast pulling up with a screech. Inside, thighs touching on the vinyl seat, the driver's radio crooning some old Sinatra tune about strangers in the night. Her hand rested on my knee, casual to the untrained eye, but I felt the heat, the intent. Dinner was at a tucked-away bistro in the West Village, fairy lights strung like fireflies, the air thick with garlic and red wine. We shared plates. Escargot that steamed with buttery promise, steak frites crisp and rare. Conversation flowed deeper now. Her rise from copywriter in Chicago to queen of the agency. The divorce that left her jaded but freer. Men, she said with a wry laugh, swirling her glass. They're puzzles with missing pieces. I shared fragments, my ex's betrayal, the way he'd packed his lies into a suitcase one rainy afternoon, the echo of the door slamming still ringing in my ears. Her foot nudged mine under the table, a deliberate brush that made my skin tingle. Laughter came easier, wine loosening tongues and limbs. By dessert, cream brulee cracked with a spoon's tap, sugar shards scattering like confetti, her gaze had softened, tracing my face with a hunger that mirrored my own. You're different, Alex, she said, voice low over the murmur of diners. You see the layers. The check came, her card flashing like a signature. Outside, the night air nipped, crisp with autumn's edge, leaves skittering across cobblestones. She walked me to my subway, arm brushing mine, the silence companionable yet electric. At the entrance she stopped, turning me gently by the shoulders. This, she said, hand sliding to my waist once more, doesn't have to end here. Her kiss was inevitable, soft at first, lips tasting of Merlot and mint, then deepening as I leaned in, hands fisting her coat. The world narrowed to the press of her body, the faint honk of a distant cab, the sigh that escaped her throat, low and needy. My back hit the cool metal railing, her thigh slipping between mine, friction sparking like live wire. Desire roared, drowning doubt, but even as I melted, a whisper in my mind. This is too fast. To her. We broke apart, breathless, foreheads touching. My place, she murmured, eyes dark with want. I hesitated, the subway's rumble vibrating up through my soles. Trust flickered, fragile as a match flame. Not tonight, I whispered, hating the words even as relief washed through me. She nodded, no pressure, just a smile that tugged at something deep. Soon then. The train ride home was a haze, body humming, mind racing. Whiskey greeted me with a meow, weaving between ankles as I kicked off shoes, the apartment's familiar mess a anchor. I collapsed on the couch, phone buzzing with her text. Dream of me. I did all night, her hands, her voice, the precipice we danced on. But dreams twist, and by dawn the fall loomed larger. Monday hit like a freight train. The office a whirlwind of caffeine-fueled frenzy. The perfume campaign had gone viral overnight, our viral with my tweaks front and center in the buzz. Emails flooded in, praise from the C-suite, a bonus whisper from HR. Jordan caught my eye across the floor. A wink that felt private amid the chaos, her lips curving in that secret smile. I buried myself in work, but every glance her way pulled like gravity, the memory of her kiss a brand on my skin. By noon she summoned me to her office, the door clicking shut behind us with a finality that made my stomach flip. You're a star, she said, pulling me into a hug that lingered too long, her chin resting on my shoulder, breath warm against my neck. The scent of her, jasmine blooming in the confined space, made my knees weak. We talked strategy, her ideas sharp as ever, but her foot hooked around my ankle under the desk, a subtle claim that sent heat pooling low. When she leaned in to point at the screen, her breast brushed my arm, accidental maybe, but the spark was deliberate. Afternoon bled into a team lunch at the rooftop spot, skyline sprawling like a promise. Jordan sat beside me, thigh pressed to mine under the table, her laughter ringing as she toasted the win. Colleagues ribbed her about her magic touch, oblivious to the double meaning that made me choke on my mojito. Her hand found my knee beneath the white linen, fingers tracing lazy patterns that had me shifting, the metal chair cool against flushed skin. The sun beat down, casting shadows that danced like our unspoken game. Back at my desk, a sticky note waited. Coffee run? Gee. Harmless, right? But her eyes said otherwise when I met her in the lobby, the elevator ride a repeat of Friday, mirrors reflecting flushed cheeks, her hand grazing my lower back as we exited. The coffee shop around the corner was a hole in the wall, steam fogging windows, the barista's grinder whirring like white noise to our banter. She ordered for us lattes with extra foam, hers black as her mood could turn. Outside, rain threatened, the air heavy with ozone, and she pulled me under the awning, bodies close against the chill. "You're killing me, Alex," she said suddenly, voice rough, pinning me with a look that stripped bare. Her hand cupped my cheek, thumb brushing my lip, and I leaned in despite the street's bustle, delivery bikes zipping past, a busker's guitar strumming melancholy chords. Our kiss was quick, fierce, tasting of espresso and urgency, her tongue flicking in a tease that left me gasping. "Tonight," she breathed against my mouth. "My place. No excuses." I nodded, words lost, the promise hanging as we parted. Her to a meeting, me to pixels that blurred on my screen. The afternoon dragged, every tick of the clock a torture, anticipation coiling tighter. By 6, the office thinned, and I freshened up in the bathroom, mirror showing wide eyes and bitten lips, the woman staring back, both stranger and ally. Her text came at 7. Building lobby. Black Audi. Heart slamming, I grabbed my coat, the elevator descent a freefall. She waited curbside, leaning against the car like a movie poster. Coat open to the wind, hair tousled, that smile. The drive uptown was charged, her hand on my thigh as she navigated traffic, fingers inching higher with each red light. We talked little, the radio filling gaps with indie folk, lyrics about lost loves that hit too close. Her apartment was a penthouse in Chelsea, all exposed brick and high ceilings, city lights twinkling through vast windows like a private show. She poured wine, Cabernet this time, deep and heady, while I wandered, taking in the art. Bold abstracts that screamed her taste, a bookshelf crammed with design tomes and dog-eared novels. The photo from her desk sat on a side table, the woman in it smiling eternally. Elena, she called her later, ex from 2 years back, the one who couldn't handle the hours. Dinner was takeout from a Thai spot, pad CW steaming, basil sharp on the tongue, but eaten on the couch, legs tangled, her feeding me bites with chopsticks that clacked softly. Laughter came easy, stories spilling. Her first job fetching coffee, my disastrous tattoo from college that read Carpe Diem in wonky script. Wine flowed, barriers crumbling, until her mouth found mine mid-sentence, slow and exploratory, hands roaming with the confidence of someone who knew the map. We moved to her bedroom, a sanctuary of silk sheets and diffused light from a bedside lamp. The city hum a lullaby below. Her touch was reverent at first, fingers tracing collarbones, lips mapping shoulders, then urgent, nails grazing hips as clothes shed in a whisper of fabric. Skin on skin, the contrast electric. Her cool sheets against fevered flesh, the sigh she let out when I arched into her, low and broken. Sounds filled the room, our breaths mingling ragged, the creak of the bed frame, a distant siren underscoring the rhythm. She knew my body like a campaign she pitched 100 times. Where to press, how to tease, drawing gasps I couldn't stifle. My hands explored her too. The scar on her rib from a biking mishap, the freckles dusting her collarbone like stars. Climax built like a crescendo, crashing in waves that left us trembling, entwined, sweat slick and spent. After, she held me close, fingers combing my hair, her heartbeat steady under my ear. "Stay," she murmured, voice thick with sleep's edge. I did, dawn creeping in with pink hues across the skyline. Doubt slithered back, cold as the marble floor under my toes. Who was I in this? The rebound? A notch? The day unfolded in stolen moments. Texts that made me smile. A quick lunch where her hand squeezed mine under the table. But evening brought a team happy hour. The bar packed with colleagues, laughter loud over clinking glasses. Jordan was magnetic, holding court, but her eyes sought mine across the room, an anchor in the noise. Later, as the group thinned, she pulled me into a corner booth, the vinyl sticking to thighs, her kiss tasting of gin and lime. "Missed you all day," she confessed, vulnerability cracking her voice. I melted, but the photo haunted Elena's smile a ghost. "Tell me about her," I said softly, the words slipping out like a challenge. She stiffened, hand pausing on my arm. "Old news." "Why?" Defensiveness etched her tone, the air turning thick. I shrugged, forcing lightness, but the seed was planted, trust fraying at the edges. We left together, her arm around my waist in the cab, but the ride felt heavier, silences stretching like shadows. Back at her place, lovemaking was fiercer. a reclaiming bodies slamming moans echoing off walls, her teeth grazing my neck in a mark that bloomed purple by morning. But sleep brought dreams. Her with Elena, laughter I couldn't touch, waking me with the start. Jordan stirred, pulling me close. Bad dream, she mumbled, lips on my temple. Yeah, I whispered, burrowing in, but the unease lingered. A low hum like the fridge in her kitchen. Weeks blurred into a rhythm. Stolen kisses in supply closets, the rustle of paper bags hiding takeout dates. Nights where her body became my map. The office buzzed with rumors, Jordan's new muse. But we played it cool, professionals by day, lovers by dark. Yet cracks showed. Her phone silenced more often, late nights she blamed on clients, the way she'd flinch at mentions of the past. One Friday it fractured. I'd planned a surprise, reservations at a rooftop spot with views that rivaled her windows. But she canceled last minute, text curt. Emergency brief. Rain check. Alone at the bar, city lights mocking, I nursed a whiskey, ice clinking like accusations. By midnight, worry turned to anger, my call going to voicemail. Her text came at 1. Sorry. Rough night. Come over. I did, cab fare biting into my wallet, arriving to find her in silk pajamas, eyes red-rimmed, a half-empty bottle on the counter. What happened? I asked, arms around her, the scent of Scotch sharp. She collapsed against me, sobs muffled in my shoulder, the dam breaking. Elena. She showed up. Demanding closure or whatever. Details spilled. The marriage they'd almost had. The betrayal when Elena chose safety over them. The ring she'd returned in a manila envelope. I thought I was over it, Jordan whispered, voice raw. But seeing her. It ripped open. I held her, rocking gently, the pieces clicking. The photo not X but scar. Jealousy ebbed, replaced by ache for her pain, our fragility. We made love slow that night, tears salting skin, her whispers, I need you, a vow in the dim. Morning brought clarity. Coffee shared with tentative smiles, her hand in mine over the sink. But trust? It was a house of cards and the wind was picking up. The agency threw a launch party for the perfume line mid-November. The loft space in Soho pulsing with bass-heavy remixes and strobe lights that painted faces in electric blue. I arrived fashionably late, nerves jangling like loose change in my clutch, the little black dress hugging curves I'd accentuated with a spritz of the campaign scent. Floral with a bite, like us. Colleagues mingled, champagne flutes fizzing. The air thick with perfume and possibility. Jordan spotted me first, across the room in an emerald gown that draped like liquid sin. Her hair pinned up, exposing the nape I'd kissed bruises into. She crossed the floor, a queen in her domain, hand finding the small of my back as she leaned in. You look edible, she purred, lips brushing my cheek. The words lost in the din but felt in the shiver down my spine. We danced later, bodies swaying to a sultry R&B track. Her thigh between mine, hips grinding subtle under the guise of rhythm. Sweat beaded on her collarbone, salt tang on my tongue when I nipped there, her gasp a secret amid the crowd. But Elena's shadow loomed. I'd seen the texts earlier, Jordan's phone lighting up during a meeting, her quick swipe to silence. Now at the bar a woman approached, tall, golden-haired, the photo come to life. Elena. Her smile was polished, eyes sharp as she air-kissed Jordan's cheeks. Congrats on the launch, she said, voice honey over steel, glancing at me with appraisal that bordered pity. Who's this? Alex, Jordan said, arm tightening around my waist. My collaborator. The hesitation stung, a paper cut to the heart. Elena laughed, light and cutting. Always the charmer. We make a good team, don't we, babe? The endearment landed like a slap, Jordan's jaw clenching, but she played it cool, steering me away with a murmured excuse. The night soured after that, Elena orbiting like a bad moon. Chats with execs, dances with interns, her gaze always circling back. Jordan down shots, her laughter louder, hand possessive on my hip. By midnight we slipped to a balcony, city wind whipping hair. The skyline a jagged comfort. She's nothing, she said, pinning me to the railing, kiss bruising. But her eyes betrayed hurt, flickering, old wounds raw. We left early, cab ride tense, her head on my shoulder, fingers interlaced. At her place, anger fueled us. Clothes torn, bodies clashing on the foyer rug, the door barely shut. Her nails raked my back, drawing red lines that burned, my teeth on her shoulder muffling cries. Release came violent, leaving us panting, tangled in a heap. I hate her, Jordan gasped, tears streaking mascara, for making me doubt this. I soothed her, words soft against temple, but sleep was fitful, dreams of golden hair and broken rings. Dawn brought hangover haze, aspirin fizzing in glasses, her apology over eggs scrambled loose. Elena's toxic, she confessed, fork scraping plate. Came back because she heard about us. Wants to talk. Air quotes dripped disdain. I nodded but unease nod. Why now? What hold lingered? Work ramped up, holiday campaigns demanding long hours, the office a hive of glittering mock-ups and frantic calls. Jordan and I carved moments. Coffee runs turning to alleyway kisses, the brick rough on my back, her tongue sweet with latte foam. Nights blurred into weekends, brunch at hole-in-the-wall diners with greasy spoons clattering. Walks in Central Park where leaves crunched under boots, her hand warm in my glove. But Elena persisted. Flowers delivered to the office with notes in looping script. Miss our spark. Coffee. Jordan trashed them, face thunder. But I saw the toll dark circles under eyes. Meetings where her edge sharpened to blade. One evening, post-deadline, she broke. Pacing her office, scotch in hand, the amber liquid sloshing. She won't stop. Says she made a mistake, wants me back. Voice cracked, glass set down with a clink. I crossed to her, hands on arms, feeling the tremor. And you? She searched my face, vulnerability raw. I want you, Alex. This. Kiss sealed it, desperate. Desk papers scattering like confetti. We christened the conference table that night, after hours, her moans echoing off glass walls. The risk heightening every touch. Fingers slick, breaths ragged, climax shattering quiet. After, wrapped in her coat on the floor, city lights our blanket, she whispered plans. A getaway to the Keys, just us, no ghosts. Hope bloomed, fragile but fierce. But reality intruded. HR email about fraternization policies. Anonymous tip, the words blurring on screen. My stomach dropped, cold sweat prickling. Who? Elena's perfume lingered in memory. Jordan dismissed it in morning meeting, charm deflecting but tension coiled. Lunch was strained, her fork pushing salad untouched. It's nothing, she insisted, but I said fear. Afternoon brought confrontation. Elena in the lobby waiting, coat clutched like armor. We need to talk, she demanded, voice slicing reception's murmur. I watched from the elevators, heart hammering as Jordan relented, guiding her to a cafe across street. Minutes stretched eternal. Coffee cooling on my desk, mind spinning scenarios. Reconciliation, lies unraveling. They returned separate, Jordan's face a mask, Elena's triumphant smirk as she left. Client, Jordan lied later, but the scotch bottle emptied faster that night. Doubt festered, texts unanswered, my bed cold without her. Whiskey sensed it, pawing my lap with insistent meows. By week's end, explosion. Her office door slammed, voices raised. You're seeing her. I accused, phone evidence, late night calls deleted but recovered in my paranoia. She denied, eyes flashing. Jealousy doesn't suit you. Words cut, the fight spilling. My insecurities from past, her walls from Elena's ghost. I stormed out, rain-soaking coat, subway a blur of wet strangers. Home, tears hot on pillows, the city's roar mocking. Her call came at 2 a.m., voicemail breaking. Alex, please. It's not what you think. But trust once cracked leaks slow. Reconciliation brewed over days. Flowers at my door, her note. Fight for us. I did, meeting at neutral ground. A park bench under bare branches, wind whispering secrets.
Apologies tumbled, hers for opacity, mine for accusations.
Elena's manipulating, she admitted, hand in mine, knuckles white. Using old feelings to sabotage. But I'm yours. We rebuilt tentative. Date night sans drama, her cooking pasta that sauce splattered stove, laughter bubbling over garlic steam. Sex softened, exploratory. Her fingers learning new paths, my lips tracing tattoos hidden under suits. But shadows lingered, Elena's last text a venom dart. She'll break you too. December snow fell, first flakes fat and silent, blanketing brownstone stoops. Agency holiday party loomed. Black tie affair at the plaza, chandeliers dripping light. Jordan asked me as her date. Official whispered in bed, her ringless finger tracing my jaw. Be mine. Heart swelled, yes on lips. The night glittered. Tuxes and gowns swirling, orchestra strings sawing romance. We danced waltzes awkward but endearing, her hand firm on waist, breath sinking. Elena crashed it, uninvited, red dress a flag, champagne in hand. Darling, she cooed to Jordan, ignoring me, the slight a blade. Security escorted but damage done, whispers rippling, eyes on us. Outside under marquee snow dusting lashes, Jordan pulled me close. Fuck her. Fuck them. Kiss melted chill. Taxi whisking to her bed where we burned bright, bodies arching. Cries swallowed in down pillows, love a defiant flame. But embers cool and winter bites deep. January thawed slow, slush sucking at boots on sidewalks, the city grumbling into New Year resolutions already fraying. Work surged, Super Bowl spots demanding 12-hour days, storyboards pinned like battle maps. Jordan and I navigated the minefield. Discretion in halls but elevators became our confessional. Kisses stolen in descent's hush, her back to mirrors, my hands fisting silk. Home life wove tighter. My toothbrush in her cup, whiskey decamped to her penthouse, batting at laser pointers across hardwood. Mornings, coffee brewed strong, her humming off-key to NPR. Robe slipping off shoulders as she stirred oatmeal, the domesticity a bomb. Yet Elena's echo persisted, voicemails deleted but one slipped through. I'm pregnant. His. But I need you. Jordan played it for me, face ashen, the words a gut punch. Lies, she spat, deleting but doubt seeded, was it? We confronted over wine one night, fire crackling in her grate, logs popping like gunfire. Tell me everything, I demanded, glass stem twisting in fingers. She did, Elena's pattern. Manipulations, affairs masked as space. The proposal she'd accepted in weakness, called off when truth surfaced. I was young, stupid, Jordan said, voice threadbare. Thought love fixed fractures. Tears tracked rare vulnerability, and I held her, rocking the confession, a bridge over chasm. Spring teased early blooms in window boxes, cherry petals drifting like confetti. Agency won Clio for the perfume, ceremony in LA a whirlwind. Red carpet flashes blinding, Jordan's speech eloquent, her hand finding mine under table, squeeze grounding. Back in New York, celebration spilled. Rooftop bar, skyline toasting, her lips on mine amid cheers, the kiss acclaim. But cracks widened. Anonymous email hit my inbox. Photos, Jordan and Elena, intimate, time-stamped recent. Heart iced, I confronted, printouts trembling. Fabricated, she swore, eyes fierce, but alibis faltered, late-night meetings unaccounted. Fight erupted. Accusations flying, her you're paranoid. My you're hiding. Doors slammed, me fleeing to Brooklyn. Rain lashing windows, whiskies per insufficient solace. Days stretched, radio silence broken by her at my door, drenched eyes pleading. It's a setup. Elena hacked my calendar, staged it. Proof tumbled. IT logs, her lawyer's letter cease and desist. Forgiveness came grudging. Bed that night a battlefield turned sanctuary. Slow touches mapping apologies, her whispers, I choose you, etched in skin. Summer heat baked concrete, mirages dancing on avenues. We escaped to Fire Island, ferry chugging waves, salt spray stinging. The house rental was weathered shingle, porch swing creaking, dunes whispering secrets. Days blurred. Beach walks barefoot, sand gritty between toes, her hand laced in mine, waves crashing applause. Nights, bonfire sparks rising, marshmallows toasting gooey, her laughter free under stars. One evening, sunset bleeding orange, she dropped to knee on the shore, shell in hand. Not ring but vow. Build with me, Alex. No more ghosts. Tears saltier than sea, yes choked out, embrace ceiling, the ocean's roar our witness. Return to city sharpened edges. Promotion for me to senior designer, desk upgraded, but envy from peers, whispers of favoritism, eyes narrowing at our lunches. Elena escalated. Lawsuit threat for defamation. Her lawyer's missive crisp legalese. Jordan's response steel. Countersuit, evidence mounting, stalking logs forged docs. Court dates loomed stress etching lines on her face, scotch bottles multiplying. I supported fierce. Research nights takeout cooling untouched, massages easing knots in shoulders scented with tension. Lovemaking turned tender, her body a harbor fingers gentle, lips soothing bruises of battle. But toll mounted, her snapping at team my overworking to prove merit, the love straining under weight. Fall leaves turned, agency party at the same loft, ghosts of last year. Elena absent but tension hummed. Jordan pulled me to dance, gown swirling, her I love you first time voiced, soft against ear amid bass thump. Heart soared, kiss deepening, world fading to us. But post-party cab home her phone rang unknown. She answered, face draining, hanging abrupt. Wrong number. Lie hung heavy, my query deflected. Bed that night, back turned, sleep evading, the fracture widening silent. November chill bit. Thanksgiving at her family's upstate. Brownstone in Albany, table groaning turkey, aunts hugs smothering. They welcomed me warm. Jordan's Alex. Pride in her voice, but dinner talk turned. Elena's name dropped casual. That mess sorted? Jordan's fork paused, smile tight. Ancient history. Drive back, snow flurrying, silence thick. Why lie? I pressed, wipers slapping rhythm. She sighed, long exhale fogging glass. Protecting you. She's dropping the suit, but wants a meeting for closure. Jealousy flared, words sharp. Go. End it. Argument simmered, her you're enough. My doubt, prove it. Meeting set neutral. Cafe in Midtown, me waiting blocks away, nerves fraying napkins. Hours later she emerged, face storm cloud hailing cab. Done, she said, sliding in, hand seeking mine. Details sparse. Elena's tears, admissions of fabrication. Plea for friendship rebuffed. Relief washed but scar tissue formed, trust tender. December holidays twinkled. Tree in her living room, strung lights twinkling, ornaments clinking soft. We baked cookies, flour dusting noses, her kiss tasting vanilla. Agency closed early, vacation hours. Train to Boston, snow blanketing commons, her glove hand warm. Hotel room steamy, tub filled bubbles, her body slick against mine, sighs echoing tile. New Year Eve, Times Square fringe, crowd surging, ball dropping glitter. Her happy, murmured, countdown roaring. Always, lie sweet but undercurrent pulled. Promotion rumors swirled, her name for director, mine shadowed nepotism. Back, January board meeting leaked. Her assent confirmed, mine under review. Betrayal stung, had she pulled strings? Confrontation in her office, door locked, voices hushed. Merit, she insisted, file slapping desk. But doubt poisoned, my resignation drafted silent. Fight climaxed. I can't breathe here, tears hot. Her plea, don't leave us. Arms caging. Collapse together, sobs mingling, love's raw edge cutting deep. Spring renewal beckoned, but winter's grip clung. February's frost etched windows in lace patterns. The city huddled against wind that howled like unanswered questions. My resignation sat unsigned on my desk, a paper sword unsheathed, the weight of it pressing chest tight. Jordan sensed the storm, her touches lingering longer, fingers weaving through hair at breakfast, lips pressing nape in elevator goodbyes. But words failed us, the air between thick with unsaid. Agency buzzed with her promotion. Creative director hail, memos trumpeting, team toasts clinking. I smiled through, but bitterness soured, colleagues backhanded, lucky you. The HR glance lingering. One afternoon, solo lunch at the deli, pastrami greasy on rye, her text pinged. Dinner. Talk. Heart twisted, reply thumbs hovering before yes. Her place, candles flickering vanilla, steak sizzling pan, the domestic armor cracking. Over wine, red pooling glass, confession spilled. I recommended you. Because you're brilliant. Anger flared, fork clattering. Pity promote? Her denial fierce, eyes locking. Belief. In you. Us. Argument circled, trust's fragile thread snapping, until she stood, pulling me up, kiss devouring doubt, bodies colliding against counter, plates rattling. We tumbled to rug, fire's glow painting skin amber, her hands worshipful, tracing ribs, dipping navel, eliciting gasps that fogged air. Release shattered, leaving us limp, her head on breast, heartbeat lulling. Stay, she whispered, fingers circling tattoo. I did, resignation shredded next morn. Confetti and trash, commitment renewed. March Madness. St. Patty's green flooding streets, agency client pitch for beer brand, green foam mock-up spilling. Jordan led, charisma crackling, her Alex's visuals seal it, nod my lifeline. Win came, bar crawl celebrating, shots burning throat, her body pressed in booth, thigh insistent. Home green beer stains on sheets, laughter echoing as we stripped, her tongue tracing shamrock eye drawn on hip with marker, ink smudging under lips. But Elena resurfaced, spring's thaw unearthing graves. Letter arrived, certified, her seal. Reconciliation offer, shares in her startup, for old times. Jordan burned it fireplace, ashes swirling but fury simmered. She's desperate, she spat, poker jabbing logs. I soothed, arms encircling but worry wormed. What leverage lingered? April showers drummed relentless, umbrellas blooming sidewalks. We weekend Catskills, cabin wood smoke curling, lake mirror calm. Hike steep, boots mudsucking, her hand steadying slips, laughter bubbling brooks. Evenings, porch rockers creaking, her stories unfolding. Childhood Chicago winters, first love a tomboy with scraped knees. Vulnerability bonded, my tales reciprocated. Puerto Rican roots, abuela's empanadas steaming, coming out tear-streaked at family dinner. One night, rain lashing panes, thunder rumbling, we made love by hearth, flames dancing shadows, her body arching bow taut, cries swallowed storm. After tangled quilts, her marry me. Soft, not proposal but probe. Heart stuttered. Someday. Evasive, past caution whispering. May bloomed azaleas, agency retreat Hamptons, beach house sprawling, waves crashing boardwalk. Team building. Volleyball sandy, her spike fierce, sand flying, my dive netting ball, cheers ringing. Bonfire night, marshmallows charring, stories circling. Ghosts admitted, Jordan's Elena chapter closed book. But dawn yoga, her form bending graceful, Elena's beach photo from years back haunting mind. June heat wave baked, AC humming office drone. Client dinner Italian, candlelit Chianti flowing, her foot teasing calf under table, eyes promising. After, alley behind, wall brick scraping, palms pinned, her mouth devouring, skirt hiked, fingers delving slick, orgasm shuddering silent, passerbys laugh distant. July 4th fireworks exploded Hudson. Barge bursts coloring sky, her arm waist, chin shoulder. This, she murmured, sparkler hissing hand. Forever. Yes, breathe, but Independence Day irony bit. My freelance side gig budding, portfolio whispers from scouts. August humidity clung, subways sweatboxes. Elena's final strike. Tabloid blurb. Ad queen's lesbian past exposed. Photo grainy-esque kissing. Scandal ripple, board calls, sponsor pulls. Jordan's poise cracked meeting, voice steel but hands shaking. Damage control, she decreed, purse spinning but home collapse. Sobs racking, my hold fierce. Will weather, vowed, but storm clouds gathered. September equinox balanced light dark. Agency stabilizing. Her leadership lauded crisis. We traveled Berkshire's foliage fire maple, B&B clawfoot tub steaming. Her soapy hands gliding, sighs bubbling water. Talks deepened. Future kids maybe via donor. Her your laugh in mini dream painting pictures. October crisp, leaves crunching Central Park runs, breath puffing clouds. Halloween party agency themed, her vampire fangs glinting, cape swirling as she bit neck mark blooming. Bed later, costume shed, her feet on me roleplay turning real, straps buckling, thrusts rhythmic, climax howling wolf. November elections buzzed, TV flickering debates, her liberal rants passionate, my nods agreeing. Thanksgiving her family again, table louder, politics sparking but hugs healing. Drive home turkey stuffed her hand thigh. Grateful for you. December snow blanketed. Holidays hectic. Tree trimming ornaments tinkling her ladder perch risky. My spotter hands hips. Gift exchange early. Her necklace pearl strand cool throat. My sketchbook her face captured intimate. New Year's quiet home champagne toasting ball drop TV her kiss midnight seal. But January whispered change. My offer from rival firm senior role salary doubling. Dinner confession her fork pausing. Proud, said but eyes shadowed loss. Stay. Plea soft but ambition pulled heart torn. Decision night, bed silk cool her body warm spoon. Go if it calls, conceded voice muffled hair. Tears wet pillow love's sacrifice bitter. Spring sprung my notice tendered office goodbyes teary hugs. Last day her office tryst. Desk cleared her kneeling worship tongue expert thighs quaking release. Miss this, gasped her smile wicked. Farewell party rooftop skyline farewell toast slurring. Her speech heartfelt. Alex's vision lights paths. Arm shoulder public. Home packing boxes her help quiet kisses lingering. New job dazzled. Sleek spaced Rebecca. Team Young briefs innovative. Jordan visited lunches. Jealousy veiled compliments. Nights her penthouse felt vast distance creeping. Summer sultry beach weekends Fire Island again. Dunes hiding picnics, her fingers sandy interlacing. But calls increased her crises my deadlines dinners cold takeout. Fall winds shifted. Agency merger rumors swirling. Her stress mounting scotch neat. Fights spark trivial. Forgotten birthdays late texts. You're drifting, accused her eyes hurt. Winter gripped holidays strained. Family dinners separate. Gifts wrapped tense. New Year's alone ball dropping tears her text come home unanswered pride. Fracture deepened love's fire banked low. February chill seeped bones Valentine's botched. Her meeting overrun my dinner wilted candles. Apology flowers wilted too wilt mirroring us. March I moved partial Brooklyn sublet. Space euphemism. Her penthouse echoey without whiskey's scamper. Work thrived. My design's billboard accolades pinging, but hollow without her critique sharp.
Luôn chết spò rài. Cà phê nơ chỗ. Nens bruising oác quát.
Miss you, she'd say, hand reaching mine hesitating pull back. April rain lashed Elena's obituary online. Overdose whispers suicide tabloids speculating heartbreak. Jordan shattered. Call 3 a.m. voice hollow. She's gone. I rushed Manhattan finding her curled floor, scotch pooled. Held through dawn sobs racking grief's raw howl. Funeral sparse her eulogy trembling. You chased light but shadows won. Aftermath bonded fragile. Nights her place my body anchor touches gentle healing. Fingers tracing tears, lips soothing whimpers. May we rebuilt slow. Therapy joint couch leather creaking confessions her eye pushed too hard. My feared losing self. June pride marched rainbow streets. Hands held public. Floats thumping bass. Her kiss confetti showered defiant. July vacation Portugal. Cliffs crashing Atlantic. Her bikini bronzed my sunscreen hands roaming. Nights taverna wine heady her proposal real. Ring sapphire simple knee sand dusted. Forever. Yes tear-choked embrace wave-kissed. August heat peaked merger finalized her title VP, but layoffs loomed, stress etching worry lines. September I supported fierce. Resumes tweaked mock interviews kitchen table her laugh returning tentative. October harvest moon full. Cabin getaway Adirondacks. Leaves flame. Her ring glinting firelight. Hikes crisp air pine sharp. Her story's future. Wedding small vows beach sunset. Love making loft bed. Stars wheeling ceiling. Her body familiar yet new. Curves memorized size harmonized. November elections tense. Results rioting streets. Her fear palpable my hold steady. Thanksgiving fused families. My abuela's eras con candles mingling her mom's pie. Laughter bridging cultures. December holidays healed. Tree hours ornaments mingled. Her kiss mistletoe sweet. January fresh wedding plans sketched napkin June Cape Cod. guests intimate. My job stable, hers navigating cuts but partnership buoyed. February love reaffirmed. Getaway Berkshire's snowshoe cabin steam sauna. Bodies slick entwined, vows whispered vapor. March spring equinox, rings sized, dresses tried. Mine lace simple, hers silk flowing. April showers blessed. Venue booked, lighthouse view, waves applauding. May rehearsals park, her nerves butterflies, my calm anchor. June dawn wedding day, sun gilding dunes. Guests assembling chairs, sand. Vows exchanged, foam lapping, her in shadows, you my light. Mine through storms, you home. Rings exchanged, gold band. Kiss sealed, salt tang, cheers erupting, gulls wheeling. Honeymoon Greece Isles, whitewash blue. Fairies chugging azure, her hand eternal. Nights, taverna ouzo anise bite. Her body moonlit worshipped. Tongue tracing constellations, freckles, climax tidal. Return September, life synced. Joint loft Brooklyn, whiskey raining. Mornings coffee shared, mugs chipped. Agency stabilized, her leadership praised. My designs award nodded. October crisp, anniversary first marked dinner rooftop. City hours twinkling. Her gift journal blank. Our story fill. Mine photo us beach framed eternal. November gratitude. Holidays blended richer. December snow joy sledding park, her squeals childlike. Tumble snow angels arms linked. January resolutions. Travel list. Therapy monthly tune-up. February hearts surprise weekend Niagara. Fall's thundering mist. Her love amplifies. March growth book club queer lit discussions deep her insights sharp. April renewal garden plot balcony herbs thriving. Her hands soil darken mine. May bloom pride again but ours private parade bed tangled. June 2nd anniversary beach revisit toes sand her still yes. July heat lazy Hamptons share friends. Poolside lounging her sunscreen ritual intimate. August adventures road trip Southwest Canyons red. Her awe echoing vast. September equinox balance careers peak. Her keynote conference my gallery show pixels print. October harvest pumpkin patch laughs. Her pie crust flaking. November thanks table full stories. December lights tree tradition evolved ornaments heirloom. January forward dreams donor discuss casual. Future seeds planted tentative. Life wove tapestry vibrant. Threads trust rewoven stronger. Love's pattern enduring. Years layered like city strata. Our story etched in routines deepened. By 32 I led design team rival firm briefs bold. Her VP role agency evolved merger beast. Mornings alarm soft chime her snooze button tease. Lips morning breath unfazed nuzzling. Coffee ritual. Hers black scalding mine latte foam heart latte art her attempt wobbly. Spring 2030 equinox wedding vow renewal intimate. Backyard friends sunset painting vows refreshed. Her still choose daily. Mine grow together always. Summer travels Italy Tuscany vines heavy. Her wine tasting slurps comical picnic prosciutto sharp. Love-making olive grove dappled. Earth cool beneath blanket. Fall foliage drives Vermont. Leaves confetti car. Her hand gear shift brushing thigh. Halloween costumes matched. Vamps eternal, fangs nipping play. Bed stakes driven passionate. Thanksgiving fusion feast. My mofongo plantain crisp. Her cranberry relish tart. Abuela toasting salud familia. Winter solstice Yule log crackling. Her pagan roots surfacing chants low. My agnostic awe joining circle candles. New Year vision board pin fridge. Adopt kitten. Hike Appalachians. Publish joint coffee table designs. January frost resolutions gym tandem. Her yoga flow graceful. My weights grunting comic. February amour surprise Paris long weekend sane strolls hand swing. Eiffel glow kiss cliché perfect. March winds book launch her memoir fragments. Love's fractures mended, dedication Alex, muse eternal. April rains garden tended joint, tomatoes ripening red. Her harvest salad tossed vinaigrette her, basil muddled. May maypole whimsy park. Ribbons twirl her laugh infectious. June solstice beach bonfire driftwood snap. Her story stars naming constellations us. July independence barbecue balcony smoke curling. Neighbors joining impromptu. Her grill master flip burgers char August dog days. Puppy adopted Luna Black Lab Bouncy. Her walks dawn leash tangle. September harvest fair. Pies judged blue ribbon her apple lattice flaky. October spook. Haunted hayride screams shared. Her grip tight thrill. November plenty volunteer soup kitchen ladles steam. Her serving grace humble. December wassail warm carols off-key duet. Her harmony true. 2031 dawn promise careers crest. Her TED Talk viral empathy design. My exhibit MoMA pixels pop. Spring equinox donor journey begins. Clinic visit sterile hope her hand squeeze steel. Summer weight anxious test TikTok. Positive line faint joy explode tears. Fall nurture pregnancy confirmed 12 weeks. Her cravings pickles ice cream midnight runs. My massages swell ankles. Halloween bump costume witch brew. Her cackle brew. Thanksgiving thanks multiplied. Ultrasound photo table centerpiece heartbeat whoosh. Winter nest. Nursery paint sage soft. Her mobile stars sew. New Year babe bump toast gentle. January snow cocoon her rest mandated my errands dash salt grit. February hearts double. Sonogram boy profile thumb suck. March winds names brainstorm. River echo our walks sage herb garden. April showers, shower gifts wrap paper crinkle. Her glow radiant. May bloom belly round her waddle endearing. June solstice due date near hospital bag packed crisp. Labor July 4th dawn contractions wave crash, her coaching breath deep. Push cry first. River hail Rivera, red wrinkled whale. August bond skin to skin her tears awe my whole tremble. Fall rhythms. Feeds midnight hush her lullaby low walks park stroller click. October spook. Pumpkin patch tiny hands grasp. November thanks family expand. Abuela Coo Spanish. December lights tree bottom branch river gaze wonder. 2032 growth, careers flex part-time her, freelance me home. Spring equinox river first steps wobble her catch cheer. Summer beach toes dig, her berry sand castle moat. Fall school start peak her drop-off kiss linger. Winter holidays his first snowman lopsided carrot nose. Life pulse fuller, love expanded vessel. Decade mark 38. Gray threads her temples silver my laugh lines crinkle. Careers plateau content. Her consult Fermone my studio boutique thrive. River 8 curious, questions endless her patient explain. My sketches fuel imagination. Spring renewal. Family trip Japan cherry sakura drift. Her kimono silk, river fan fold. Summer camp drop tears hers mind dry wave. Fall harvest orchard pick apples juggle. Winter solstice traditions evolve. River drum circle join. New Year resolutions family. Hike Kilimanjaro dream. Publish kids book her words my illos. 2040 40's grace. Body's softer curves embrace. Her touch familiar fire. Spring equinox river teen spark. Debate club firebrand her pride beam. Summer Europe train rails clack. Her history geek museums drag. Fall college apps loom. Essays her edit sharp. Winter holidays, acceptance Harvard cheer explode. Life cycle turn, empty nest whisper her hand squeeze hours still. 2045 silver wedding beach vow waves lap. River best man toast rye. Summer empty travels reclaim. Bali rice terrace trek, her hand callous hold. Fall nest fill grand surprise. Daughter-in-law join wedding garden bloom. Winter solstice grandbabe bump her knit booties tiny. Decades weave love thread constant, fray men stronger. Her hand waist still whisper relax. Trust earned eternal. 60 loomed horizon, hair silver fox her mine waves salt pepper. River grown partner architect, city loft echo ours once. Visit sporadic grandkids too, Lena artist smudge paint. Theo engineer tinker blocks. Chaos joyful her lap throne stories spin. Spring morning's garden 10 joint. Knees creek soil rich. Her roses thorn prick blood bead. Summer voyages grease return. Isles wrinkle map. Her snorkel flip bubble fish dart rainbow. Fall foliage soft walk slow park bench rest. her head shoulder sigh content. Winter hearth, grandbabe's fort blanket, her esmeralda's gooey teach. 70 wisdom, career's legacy. Her book bestseller, my exhibit's retrospective crowd. River keynote inherit fire, her seat front row tier proud. Spring equinox vow quiet dune sit, rings worn groove thumb her still, mine always. Summer family reunion beach, grandkids sand tower her moat dig. Fall harvest orchard slow pick, basket heavy her arm link. Winter holidays, table generations laugh overlap. 80 grace body's frail frame her cane tap rhythm, my glasses thick blur edge. Spring garden wheelchair roll her prune shears snip, roses defiant bloom. Summer porch swing creak, grand great stories loop, her voice rasp melody. Fall leaves rake gentle, river push mower hum. Winter solstice, candles flicker weak hand hold steady. New year toast fragile glass clink her to us. 90 whisper, bed shared dip center, her breath shallow sink mine. Spring window view bloom her fingers lace loose. Summer fanware stories fade repeat, her smile constant. Fall chill blanket tuck, grand lineage visit soft. Winter fire low her head chest last lullaby hum. Dawn light filter her hand waist ghost, whisper relax echo. Trust circle close love infinite loop. Epilogue fade skyline eternal, our story etched hearts collective. Caution tale turn triumph, hand waist trust forged fire. Meaning gleams. Love defies precipice when leap together, net appears woven from threads shared. Fade city hum breath last sigh peace.